What's something that took you way too long to realize? For the longest time, I carried this constant weight in my head, a relentless chatter about what I looked like and how I was being perceived. My name's Emma, and for years I thought everyone was watching me, judging me, analyzing every little flaw. I'd go to the gym and immediately worry. Am I too fat? Are my boo too small? Do I look stupid trying to figure out these machines? I'd hover over the Trey and Miller squat rack, pretending I knew exactly what I was doing while my brain screamed that everyone was silently critiquing me. At work, it was no different. I'd get anxious during meetings, convinced my ideas were weak, that my depressed spells were obvious, that everyone around me could see how I wasn't performing at my best. I imagined colleagues like Mark in accounting or Jessica in HR, whispering behind their hands, quietly judging me for being less than. The truth was, every time I went to a social event, a party, or even just a coffee with friends, my mind ran through the worst case scenarios. They all noticed my flaws all the time, and they were cataloging them. I spent years like that. At the grocery store, I'd glance at other people and immediately feel smaller, slower, less competent. I'd scroll through Instagram and pick apart my reflection against everyone else's filtered perfection. I compared, judged, worried. One day, though, it clicked in the smallest, strangest way. I was at the gym, standing in front of the mirror and doing some shoulder presses. My head was spinning with internal critique. Your form looks dumb. You're not lifting enough. People are staring at how weak you are. And then I caught myself glancing sideways at another woman, maybe a year or two older, doing her own set. She was clearly new to the gym, messing up the machines, wobbling a little, and nothing happened. My brain didn't scream or sneer. I didn't judge her. I barely even noticed. She was just there, trying. It hit me. No one was looking at me the way I thought. My obsessive internal commentary didn't exist in their heads. People were too busy thinking about themselves. They were adjusting their headphones, debating whether to add more weight, or wondering what they were doing that evening. My fears of everyone seeing my flaws weren't reality. They were just my brain running in circles. I started noticing this more and more. At work, I stopped overanalyzing every word I said in meetings. I realized no one was scrutinizing me the way I imagined. Jessica from HR, she was worried about her own presentation. Mark from accounting, he was trying not to spill coffee on himself. My insecurities had inflated my sense of visibility, turned me into someone constantly performing for an audience that wasn't even there. Even in more personal spaces, the pattern held. A friend, Leah, was at the coffee shop and accidentally spilled her latte. I didn't think she was pathetic or incompetent. I barely noticed, actually. And that realization was the first flicker of freedom I'd felt in years. I wasn't living under everyone else's microscope. They were living under their own. The idea slowly sank in. People don't care about the tiny imperfections I obsess over. I've never looked at someone at the gym and thought, what an IOT. He clearly doesn't know how to do prone leg curls the right way. I've never looked at another woman and thought, her boo are so small, that's awful. And it felt ridiculous that I'd spent so many years assuming that everyone was silently cataloging my flaws. Once I realized this, things started to shift. I didn't wake up one morning magically free of anxiety, but I began to see moments differently. I could focus on what actually mattered, trying to improve at the gym, enjoying my work, being present with friends, without the oppressive layer of imagined judgment. I noticed small liberations, like laughing at my own mistakes, without imagining the world laughing at me, or going out in a new outfit without rehearsing 1,000 ways people could critique me. A few years later, I stumbled across a Reddit comment that had helped someone else articulate exactly the same feeling. Reading it felt like a mirror reflecting my own experience back at me. The comment explained how most people aren't actually paying attention to others' perceived flaws, that we're all too busy worrying about ourselves. I'd felt that in my gut, but seeing it in words crystallized it for me. Now I can shrug off the rare few who might judge me because they're outliers. The majority aren't analyzing me, aren't thinking about my perceived shortcomings, aren't cataloging every misstep. And realizing that was liberating in a way nothing else had been. It's funny, but it took me decades to grasp something so simple. No one cares, not like I thought. And once I truly internalized that, I finally started living in the space outside of my own self-critical thoughts. I could laugh, try, and exist without feeling constantly exposed. For me, that was the longest overdue realization of my life.